Hi, I'm Greg Koeppel from Greg Koeppel Arts, and I'd like to share with you today one of the mediums that I work with in art. I'm involved in all different aspects of art. I do wood carving, I do printmaking, and in the past I did an awful lot of pottery, but today I'd like to share my most favorite medium, which is oil painting. This particular painting is important to me because I became a bird enthusiast and was inspired by a woman named Marge Gibson of the Raptor Education Group Incorporated. That's spelled REGI. Marge and her group are located in Antigo, Wisconsin. She and her group of helpers and interns help to rehabilitate injured and ill birds, especially raptors, and they take in all kinds of other birds, that just about any species of birds, and even baby birds that have been found on the ground from after windblown storms or whatever. Once they're rehabilitated or they're grown, they're reintroduced into the wild. So I invite you to check out Marge and her organization on the internet. Type in REGI, R-E-G-I, and it would get you to the site. And this painting shows from an actual photo taken of Marge holding an eagle, and I was greatly inspired to paint that. And I see her sort of like as this powerful figure, Earth Mother type figure, holding a very powerful bird, which is the bald eagle. Okay, a second painting that I did of Marge I call The Rescue of the Trumpeter Swan, which is an actual event. I was very much intrigued by the contrasts of the white of the swan against the dark of the background and of her coat, and even the almost like the love that she shows toward her birds. This painting I call The Spring Dance, and I consider this a whimsical kind of painting because it's based on just something out of my head, and I try to use expressionism, impressionism to express what I'm thinking. And I kind of like to tell a little story, and in this case by even just the look on the expressions on their faces kind of tells the story too. And obviously they're not realistic birds, but you can tell that they're birds simply because of the formation of the characters. Okay, what I'm trying to convey too is that trying to show human emotion and sort of a psychological aspect of how they're feeling, and showing love and happiness. I call this painting The Reluctant Conductor, and the aspect of this one is showing that it's like just about ready to conduct an orchestra, but he's also kind of an introvert, so he's taking a moment to take a breath and decide what he's going to do next. Alright, this painting I call Fall Harvest, and of a crow busy working on a cob of corn, but it's also an expressionistic painting where I incorporate, and sort of whimsical, where I incorporate aspects of colored corn that's growing out of the ground. Enjoyed working with the various colors to put into this painting. Originally I intended to do this painting for fun, and I entered it into an art show and it won an award for it, so that was quite an honor. Okay, this painting I call The Eclipse, and again it's an expressionistic type painting of crows flying, and even though that there's an eclipse, the crows chose to fly, and generally, like during an eclipse, if things turn dark or whatever, the birds would tend to think that it's nighttime and rest in amongst the trees. In this painting, I chose to have them flying like they're heading toward the actual eclipse. My intent oftentimes is unconscious, so I just paint what comes into my head, and so in this particular painting, that's what I did. I put these various elements together to create some sort of drama, or it still tends to be a little bit whimsical, and yet it has like a psychological undertone. I call this painting Rockin' Robin, which is another whimsical painting of mine that is obviously a caricature of a robin. I made him to be sort of like an older robin that's has characteristics of, say, like an older gentleman that has perhaps a beer belly or whatever, and he's kind of just trudging along and being himself. Thank you for your interest in joining me, and we'll see you again. That'll be on there now too. North, come here.
I'll edit it out.
I know.